This is the weekend edition of Racing to Win, and we're out at Sha Tin on Sunday afternoon for the Chevalier Cup. It is our feature event, Class 1. Great to have your company here on the show. I'm Tom Wood, joined in the studio by Paul Lally and Nick Child. And Nick, we've got a pretty good meeting coming up at Sha Tin on Sunday. Of course, there's the Chevalier Cup, but there's some good races on the undercard.
Yeah, there certainly is, Tom. Yeah, looking forward to it for sure. There's some interesting newcomers as well. And on that feature race, John Sy is very well represented. He's got Red Lion, who ran such a nice race last time, and quite a bit of form coming out of that Panasonic Cup.
Yes, indeed. That was a good race a couple of weeks ago, the Panasonic Cup. There's a Class 2 on the programme, Paul, but what about the jackpots for the meeting also?
No, there's no jackpots. All the money was won last week, but look, there's some really good even races, especially early in the card. There's a whole host of first starters as well. So as such, I think there'll be some really, if you've managed to find a winner, I think you're going to be very well rewarded throughout the card. Really good handicap races.
Yeah, indeed, and an exciting new addition to the ranks here in Hong Kong for the next 5 weeks. James McDonald, he joins us here in Hong Kong from Sunday, staying until the 1st of January 2024. And Nick Child sat down with him via Zoom to talk about his upcoming stint here in HK.
Yeah, looking forward to it, to be honest. It's going to be a really good trip. Obviously something a little bit different, and was lucky enough by the club to, obviously we're coming up for the international series as well as the Jockeys Challenge, and yeah, the club and through Terry Bailey afforded me an opportunity to ride a little bit longer. So yeah, jumped at the opportunity. It'll be awesome to mix it with some of the best up there, and yeah, just stay a little bit longer and see how it is.
James, have you ever, I mean, you're obviously going great over in Australia, whatever state you ride in. There are always plenty of winners, of course. Have you ever felt the pressure to come and base yourself in Hong Kong? I mean, there's obviously time yet, but there's always been plenty of talk about it. What's your take on it always?
Oh, of course there is. Yeah, it's one of the best racing jurisdictions anywhere in the world. It's the toughest as well as the most competitive, and you always seem to, whenever there's a good horse around, they hold their own anywhere in the world. So they're great producers, great racing, great prize money. So it's just so competitive as well. So it's a little bit different to when you're traveling, but yeah, I'm looking forward to, obviously, Romantic Warrior, and what he did in Australia was just fantastic to be continuing the partnership with him.
Yeah, just on him, James, that leads me on quite nicely, of course. You and he have obviously, formed this partnership, and his trainer, Danny Sherman, everyone involved. I almost felt you were struggling to hide your real emotion for the horse after winning the Cox Plate. I mean, it was quite a performance, one that I think probably took your breath away a little bit. It did ours for sure. He's just become so special, hasn't he, this guy, especially for you as a rider?
Yeah, phenomenal racehorse. I just love his will to win. He's just got an incredible fight about him, and he's extremely lovely to ride. It was pretty simple as that. He just does everything you want in a racehorse. He puts himself to sleep most of the time, unless he's fresh, like we did see in Australia. But I thought he executed the Cox Plate in lovely fashion, and that's why he won. He's just a bomb-proof racehorse. Got all the right attributes to be as good as he is. So yeah, I've got a real soft spot for him. And touching on the Cox Plate, I suppose the raw emotion come from, there was obviously a great deal of pressure with that sort of horse. He's travelled all the way across halfway across the world. Danny and Peter took the opportunity to compete in one of our greatest weight for age races on turf, and now he's got a monumental task of going back to Hong Kong and defending his title in a Hong Kong Cup, which we're so excited about. But yeah, so to get the result in the Cox Plate meant one hell of a lot, not only to myself, but I'm sure racing Hong Kong fans, as well as Danny Shum, who did a marvellous job with him.
Romantic Warrior, Mr. Brightside, still alligator blood. Mr. Brightside coming at it with Romantic Warrior. It's a photo finish.
Just looking ahead, I know you're a very busy man. I'm not sure if you had a chance to sort of cast a glance over the entries, those that have been sort of put forward for Hong Kong International. But it looks a good race this year, doesn't it? And, your fella, he probably has to, continue where he's at. If not, maybe go to that next level, perhaps, of what's coming.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's on the right trajectory where he's on the way up. So he'll be third up for the Hong Kong Cup. And I just loved his improvement from the Turnbull to the Cox Plate, where he was. I thought he made a significant amount of lengths up his sleeves, So I expect him to go again. I don't think we saw the best of him in that race, and he was still good enough to win. So, but yeah, to answer your question, he will have to go to another level. Obviously, great international flavour from Japan, Ireland. I think there's a French horse in it or an Irish horse. So. Yeah, he's going to have to be right on his game. I'm sure if he runs to how he did in the Hong Kong Cup last year, which I felt was as good as feel I've ever had on a racetrack in terms of a performance-wise, I think he's still he's the horse to beat, no doubt in my mind.
Romantic Warrior, he's well clear in the Hong Kong Cup. He's 3 lengths over Money Catcher, Denon the Kid. He is the perfect racehorse, Romantic Warrior, and he's now a Hong Kong Cup winner.
Yeah, I remember talking to you obviously post-race as well. Obviously, a fantastic performance. Obviously, arguably initially, the main reason you were coming up was for IJC. You were still a teenager, James, when you were runner-up in it in 2011. A couple of times you've run second, you've run third. I guess with luck of the draw, you'd like to win this, wouldn't you?
Bloody Frankie Dettori knocked me off. How rude of him. He's got enough trophies in the cabinet, but yeah, no, we've had a little bit of luck without winning. So hopefully we get our turn, but. It's a phenomenal night. I really, really appreciate obviously the opportunity to ride there because it's actually so much fun, and they put it on such a brilliant night with just the atmosphere. It's just incredible, and I think this year, obviously, normally when we fly in, fly out, it's we will almost just have the 4 or 5 rides where this year I'm looking at having a full up card, so it'll be a great night to be a part of with a full dance card and hopefully a winner or two there.
Terrific to hear from James McDonald, and of course he lands on Sunday morning to ride Sunday afternoon, Paul. He's got a good book of rides, but in terms of James, it's just a matter of when, not if, he turns up to Hong Kong full-time, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It looks that way, doesn't it? He's well suited here. And look, he's got some good rides. You mentioned Wunderbar's the last start winner. Adderfeld always runs a good race on that all-weather. And Super Legends, he was a bit unlucky last time, but he's only had the 2 starts. He's also on the Golden Scenery's Honest. Romantic Charm, he knows that horse pretty well. He rode him down in Geelong, and Beauty Crescent was unlucky last start.
He was indeed, yeah, and Romantic Charm actually ran quite a nice race actually down in Geelong, so yeah, he could be a definite chance.
He's going to get a lot of support while he's here, isn't he, Nick?
Oh, for sure. Look, I mean, he's world class. He's we can run out of superlatives, can't we, about James McDonald? He's very good, and it's going to be great to have him here, actually.
Yep, indeed. And he, of course, will be riding right through until January 1, and of course, he will be at International Day 2023. And of course, during the week, we had the selected runners, which were announced this week for the Turf World Championships of 2023. Let's delve into some of the selected runners for HKIR 2023. Kicking off with the sprint, Nick, who's the horse you're most looking to see here? Of course, Lucky Swiness won the lead-up sprint the other week.
He did indeed, yeah, and obviously, he is the one that they've certainly got to beat as far as the local team's concerned. But Highfield Princess is a very talented race mare. Now, she's a great story because she struggled to win a handicap early on in her career, off a very low mark in the 50s. She's now one of the world's best sprinters, Paul. Yeah,
and she's going to put herself right in the race. Draws are always going to be pretty important, the barrier draws. I'm looking forward to Mad Cool, the Japanese horse. He ran second in that Sprinters Stakes. I think he's going to get a nice run behind. One thing is Victor the winner will probably lead, but Jasper Crone is another out-and-out speedster as well. So there's going to be pace on.
The mile, of course, with Golden 60, California Spangle representing Nick, the home team, but plenty of Japanese interest, some Singapore interest, Ireland and France represented as well.
Yeah, it's a truly international race, this one, Tom, and obviously the local team, as we know, obviously headed by Golden 60, who's going to make his reappearance this season in this race. But look, Cairo for Aidan O'Brien was runner-up in a Guineas behind Paddington, that's strong form. Tribalist is very much an improver, Paul, from France, and he'll certainly put himself on the pace.
Yeah, well, California Spangle won't be happy Tribalist in the race, because California Spangle, when he won this race last year, got it his own way. Tribalist is an out-and-out front runner as well, so that's another one where there should be some good pace. And the Egyptian horse, Cairo, he won't be too far away either.
Yes, I see what you did there, Paul. Encountered trialled very well on Friday morning as well, so he's another one lining up in that race. Who do you think, Paul's probably going to be the strongest runner from Japan in the mile?
In the mile, look, I didn't mind Soul Rush's last run. He gets back and he runs on really strongly. So I thought he could run pretty well, Soul Rush. So he's one of... What are these Japanese? You see the Japanese horses come here, and the one you can look at them in track week and think, wow, that one looks fantastic. But it's sometimes the lesser, credentialed ones, and they actually perform really well when they get out here. So I'm looking forward to seeing them in person.
Let's have a look at the Cup, and of course Romantic Warrior will be trying to defend his crown there, but we've got some quality going around in this race. Nick out of Japan, France, and also Ireland with Luxembourg. He's a highly talented galloper, this guy.
He certainly is, Tom, and look, he's got the rare feat or achievement of being a Group 1 winner at 2, 3 and 4. There aren't many horses that can do that, so he's very smart. Of course, won an Irish champion a couple of years ago, runner-up in it this year. He's a very good horse, and he'll put it up to them.
Yeah, he'll put on the pace. Horizon D'Or, the French horse, has a really good turn of foot too.
Yep, can't wait to see the Cup of 2023. And to round things out, the Vase, well, the home team represented, of course, by Russian Emperor, 5G Patch, City Blanche, Senor Toba there as well. Is this going to be the most difficult race for the home team to win, you think, Paul?
Yeah, it normally is, isn't it, on paper? But we don't really have the 2,400 metre horses here. Looking at the pace of the race, doesn't look like to be too much here. Youngco can go forward and lead. And Warm Heart, the Irish horse, she's going to get a nice run just in behind.
Yeah, and she receives plenty of weight as well. And look, let's not forget, Russian Emperor is top quality over this sort of trip. So if he turns up on his A game, he'll be right there.
Indeed, and a lot of respect as well for West Wind Blows, who of course had a pretty good campaign down in Australia. So can't wait for the Turf World Championships coming up 14 days from Sunday out at Sha Tin. We'll take a break here on Racing to Win. On the other side, we're going to preview the main event on Sunday, and that is the Class 1 Chevalier Cup. Stay with us. Racing to Win continues. We're looking at the program coming up at Sha Tin on Sunday afternoon. A mixed card there, Chevalier Cup race day. And let's have a look at the last run reminder, first of all, Paul. Horse that's drawn wide for his second assignment.
Yeah, I did this before the draws came out. But look, he's drawn wide, so he's going to have to get back. But look, he really caught the eye at this only debut run here. You can see he's slow out. So drawing 14 might not be the worst, because he got back here and he did get back in his overseas races. So I expect him to get back once again. The thing that worries me a little bit more is probably the pace in the race. But as you can see, he was at the back here, and he sort of came through the middle of the field. And he finished off for a really nice fifth. So it was a really catching run from him. He was momentarily held up as well. So with all this being said, I think he's still a big chance coming up on the weekend. And he comes up in race number 9. Does Speed Dragon, number 5. So, look, a good finish from him, natural improvement, and you expect him to be right in the finish.
It wasn't too far away, and he's a horse that no doubt they have marked down for the 4-year-old series, beginning, of course, in January next year. So that is the last run reminder with Speed Dragon, race 9, number 5. Let's look at Sha Tin. As I said before, it is a mixed card of race. We've got 2 races on the all-weather, 8 on the turf or on the sea course for meeting number 22 of 88. And we're previewing the Class 1 feature over 1,600 metres, the Chevalier Cup, at 10 minutes after 4 o'clock. Let's have a look at the lineup for the contest, beginning with Red Lion, who ran particularly well last time out. Red Lion for Zach Purton and John Size. Circuit Stella running glory's got the tongue tie going on. Telecom Fighters stole it off the front last time out at Happy Valley. Super Sunny Singh didn't have a great deal of luck last time out. The Golden Scenery, Bourbonnier on a quick back up after an unlucky run last time out. Spirited Express has only got 123 pounds to carry. Ortula Begil, a little unlucky last time out. The Best Peach and Happy Together comes up in grade after winning his last 2. Speed map here, Nick, and Telecom Fighters, is he going to get it his own way here like he got it at Happy Valley? Well,
look, it's possible. We know he's got plenty of early dash, and he's got £10 coming off as well, so that's going to certainly be a plus point. But yeah, just having a quick look at it, I think he probably will, in fairness. And the likes of Red Lion, Bourbonnier, I think will be a little bit wide. Circuit Stella will chase. He's always usually close to the pace there. Paul drawn a good gate, or Tullabegil happy together with no weight, probably just sitting behind.
Hey, like last season, Angus Chung, I would be a little bit worried with him on Circuit Stella and also Telecom Fighters. They'd get into a bit of a speed battle. But Angus is a lot more mature now, and I think if he'll sort of sum it up and maybe just let Telecom Fighters go.
That is the pace for the Chevalier Cup, a horse that's in terrific form at the moment. Ever since he moved across to the Frankie Law barn, is happy together, and Nick spoke with his jockey, Alexis Badel.
Alexis, the big race on Sunday is the Chevalier Cup. You're riding Happy Together. He's a horse that's really improved nicely, hasn't he?
Yes, that's correct. The horse has been doing very well, and he's done everything correctly so far. So I'm very pleased the way he's doing at the moment.
2 runs this season, 2 wins. Obviously, he just continues to sort of go skyward as far as his rating's concerned, 85. A race like this, nice lightweight, I guess that's going to certainly be a big positive for you and your horse.
Yes, his handicap situation is very favorable in this race. So he's a quality horse. I believe it's a great situation and very interesting race to be.
Just on the sort of the form of the race, obviously you'd know probably your main rival very well, Red Lion. You've opted for this guy clearly. Sort of, is this guy now sort of going to a place where he can take on these better class of horses? Do you think?
Well, I think we will find out. And he's been doing well. He's a very classy horse. It's interesting to see how he can compete against those like higher class horses. They can quicken really fast. They're able to do like very fast sectional. So I think it's a real test, and if he can keep up with those ones, it's a very good sign.
You know the horse from when Richard Gibson used to train him, and I know Richard always had a bit of an opinion of him. So there's always been something there with this horse, hasn't there, that suggests he could get up to a higher level here?
Yes, I always believed that he was a quality horse, and I think he proved it already like a while ago. And it's just like the horse continued to improve, and he keeps doing what I thought he was capable of.
He seemingly likes to get nicely covered up in his races. You've got gate too, so there'll be plenty of horses around you as well.
Yeah, the horse is pretty simple. Like he's very versatile, very handy horse. So I don't see any issue. Hopefully I'm in the right spot and he can hit the line very strong.
He's looking to stay unbeaten at the Son of Dragon Pulse. 2 from 2 so far this season is Happy Together. Let's move on to a few of the other key runners in the Chevalier Cup, and this, of course, is the Panasonic Cup over the 1,400 metres. Nick, the Golden Scenery missed the start there, but look, Tullabegil settles down towards the rear. Red Line has a lovely run through. Circuit Stella here wasn't the quickest away and just had to be sort of pushed up, and then he got caught wide sort of momentarily as well.
He did, yeah, and look, he loses all out on the track, doesn't he? He always runs his race, Circuit Stella, so you sort of expect a bit of the same this time in, and Angus Chung has won them in the past. The 2 I'd take out of it are Red Lion, who's obviously run 2nd, and Tullabegil, who's run 4th, who probably didn't get the clearest of passages through. So look, Red Lion, this was his first run of the season. He, I think, will strip fitter for it, and Tullabegil there, Paul, he's got a very light weight, and I think he's very attractively weighted for this.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're the two to take out of the race. And Red Lion, we'd seen John Sizer's horses come on with the run as well. So he looks really well placed in this. And
he looked really unlucky last time out too, didn't he, Nick, or Tullabegil?
Oh, very much so. Look, I think he's got a cracking chance, obviously squeezed for room, but ran on really strongly.
Telecom Fighters, he just pinched this race, Paul, off the front, dictated, and they couldn't run past him. That's what he can do at Happy Valley, though, can't he?
He can. He's never won at Sha Tin from his 8 starts. He's been placed a couple of times, but he hasn't been able to win. Look, he can really sprint off the bend, this horse, and they went really slow sectionals, and you're right, he's basically stole the race. So I can't see him doing it in this one.
No, very hard. Look, he's on a triple figure mark now, and obviously they've engaged Ellis Wong to claim 10, but he's much better at the Valley than here, but he can run well here.
Yeah, certainly pinched it in that 2nd section when they were well outside standard. Here we're looking at the race over 1,600 metres with Spirited Express. Also here, as we see Super Sunny Sing on the outside. What do we make of Super Sunny Sing coming into this, Nick?
Look, I think he's got a very good chance. Look, I thought maybe last time out when he ran 6th in behind Encountered, he had a lot to do, and he did the best he could in the circumstances. He made up plenty of ground, but he couldn't make it up quick enough. But I think judged on this sort of performance, he is most definitely a player. And not forgetting, Paul, he's unbeaten over course and distance 2 from 2.
Yeah, and the pace is going to be on this race with Telecom Fighters and Circuit Stellar in the race. So as such, I quite like him in this. I don't mind the best Peach as well, because if this pace is on, he can be running on.
Let's have a look at Vincent Ho. His last 3 meetings, Paul, since he's been back from suspension, he's riding at the top of his game.
He is, isn't he? Look, he's perfect for him, getting it going, heading into HKIR, and Jockey's at Happy Valley as well. So, look, you can see the record for yourself. He's just going so well. He's had those 23 rides, and 10 times he's either first or second.
Yeah, no, look, he's world class, Vincent. I mean, you know, we've said it time and time again. He's very good, and he continues to ride so.
Taking you back to the Sa ladies purse now, and here is Super Sunny Singh. Things went against him this time round, and probably slightly the pace of the race, and this was Matthew Chadwick stepping in for Vincent Ho, who was suspended. There was a few things that just weren't quite right in the end for Super Sunny Singh.
Yeah, look, absolutely. Look, he's ended up turning widest of all there. And look, I think, look, if Matthew could probably have his time again, maybe he would have sat a bit closer, because he has had ground to make up on good horses. Let's not forget the horse there on his inside orange sleeves. That's Straight Aaron, who's come out and won a Group 3. You've got obviously good horses there ahead of him as well. So not easy to go and pick them type of horses up, Paul.
Yeah, Champion Dragon has come out and won again as well. So the second and fourth horses have won. So yeah, back to 1600 looks good too. Yeah.
Yep, and of course, encountered entered for HKIR, trialled very well Friday morning. Selections, Paul, for the Chevalier Cup.
Got to go with Super Sunny Singh. We've talked about him there. He's going very well, and at 1600 it's good. Red Lion second up. Talabagil was unlucky last time, and the best Peach from the back. 5, 1, 9, 10.
Yeah, numbers for me in race 7. Pretty keen here on number 9, Talabagil. Very unlucky last time out. I think he can go a few places better this time in. Red Lion in for second. Comes through the same form line. Super Sunny Singh goes in, and Happy Together down at the bottom gets his chance in this. 9, 1, 5, 11.
Good race coming up on Sunday afternoon is race number 7, the Chevalier Cup. It's now time to have a look at the best bets, the value and the play runners for the meeting. Paul, your first cab off the rank.
Going to go with Chang Cheng Glory. He's won his last couple, this horse, and I don't think he's stopped winning yet. He gets to the front. There doesn't look like too much sort of pace in this race. There wasn't much pace in this one either, and you can see him just really sprinting nicely off the front. If he can get a sort of an easy way in front, which I think he probably can do, I can see him doing something similar. He's up in grade, but he was running away from them here at the end, so I thought it was a really, really nice win, and Athleticism's come out and won since out of that race, so it's a good form race. And Longshot in the last, Wings of War, has won a recent trial up at Chung Fa. He'll have his first start for the new stable. Race 10, number 3, Wings of War now with Jamie Richards. And we'll do the play earlier on in race 6, Bearto, Super Legends and Sunlight Power, and a QQP, 2, 5 and 9 in race 6.
Yeah, best bet for me coming up on Sunday afternoon. Race 7, number 9, it is Talabagil. I think this race suits him very well indeed. Unlucky last time. Here's a look back at that Panasonic Cup, and Keegan DeMello, well, he didn't get all the breaks when needed. He was a little bit squeezed for room, but I love the way he's run on thereafter, and he's got a good turn of foot, this horse. Keegan DeMello, David Hall, worth following when they team up. You can see there he's probably hit the line strongest of those 4 spread across the post. And the long shot, race 6, number 9, Sunlight Power, I think gets another chance here. Derek Lung will be the man on board him in race number 6. And the play, last race of the day, 1, 9 and 10, the numbers in the last.
Best bet for me is one of the first starters lining up in race 2, number 7, Loyal Bobo. He's caught the eye not only in his trials here at Sha Tin, but also in New Zealand. So race 2, number 7, Loyal Bobo, Frankie Law and Zach Purton. The runner for the value is race 6, number 11, Massive Talent. I think had a few excuses last time out. Up and trip for him, I think, is a positive. Lyle Hewitts and Mark Newnham. And I think race 2 boils down to Wunderbar and also Loyal Bobo. They look to be the 2 standouts in that second race. We'll take them in a Quinella. Horses 2 and 7. Let's look at what we've got coming up racing-wise the next week to 10 days here in Hong Kong. Of course, we're on air at 12:15 on Sunday afternoon. 12:45 race 1. We've got the Japan Cup coming up as a simulcast race at 2:40. Happy Valley Wednesday night for 8, and then back to Sha Tin, the meeting before International Week. So that just about does us here on Racing to Win this week. Paul, Wednesday night, Happy Valley, good meeting coming up with Nordic Dragon, and how deep is your love, who trialled very well the other day?
Yeah, Wonder Kit's in there as well. We've got Reward Smile, Seasons Wit. It's going to be a fantastic race.
Yeah, it's a good start to what's going to be a huge main come December, Tom.
Yeah, can't wait. So that's the Class 2 1200 coming up on Wednesday night at Happy Valley. Don't forget, you can get on the website hkjc.com under audio and video and find a preview of all of the races for Sha Tin on Sunday afternoon. It's a 12:45 start for Chevalier Cup race day.